Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples. I'm super excited to share this unboxing with you. This is from CJRB. If you're not on their mailing list and you want to know when they're going to be releasing their new stuff, their mailing list is a really good way to do it. I saw this drop and I knew that it was probably going to sell out fast. I don't know if that's true or not. There'll be a link down below for it, but that's what I would suggest doing. So this guy is CJRB Pyrite, but it's one of their new editions. Now, I love the Pyrite. It came in very high in my Knife of the Year last year, but you can see this one's very shiny. I don't know what this coating is. This is steel handles, I think, but this coating is really cool, and the way that it's finished is awesome. I also like this fuller here. You'll see why it has a fuller here. Okay, you guys ready to see the blade and why I'm excited about this? Oh yeah, you've got that classic Bowie jackknife type blade shape, and the action on it is your typical pyrite or action, which is great. And how much did this cost, you want to know? Well, this is a pyrite that was the aluminum upgraded one. I think this was like $65, and this one here with this awesome brushed coating. You see how that, all right, so one of the reasons why I did this is, I think this might be copper as well. I could be totally wrong, but this pyrite is definitely, or this Riot is, PTXL is definitely copper, and it's matte finish, right? But look at this. This has been polished up. You can see the belt grinds there, very nice, and I really like it when they do a finish like this. Just like the Kunwu have their polished GLC. This actually works really well when stropping and stuff. You don't get a lot of wear to it. I thought that you would, but you don't. And I'm gonna guess that this is gonna act the same way. I really like the Pyrite, and this edition is just absolutely awesome. It's a little bit heavier because of the steel handles, but it feels really good. And that I need to play with a pivot, but yeah, the thumb stud works great, and the fuller works phenomenally well. And obviously, you can deploy it here, and then you've got this nice choke up point here, and the jimping continues past the thumb stud, so it's actually usable. This PT has jimping back here, but it doesn't go past the thumb stud. So even though you can choke up on it, there's no real jimping there, which seems odd. It seems like you should continue the jimping. But this looks phenomenal, and for a $50 knife, this is just absolutely great. I'm going to assume this is 9 ARP. What does it say? AR RPM 9. Yeah, this is their proprietary steel, which is just fine. I don't think it's as good as 14C28N, although I haven't used both of them enough to know for sure. But having said that, it's like, to me, it feels like a powder metallurgy D2, but only better. Scroll cutting, very sharp. When you get a knife from CJRB, it's going to be super sharp. I'm really curious now to know if this did sell out or not. So with an extended fuller like that, and the reason why I misdeployed it is because when you flick it with your finger down, way down on the fuller, it's a lighter detent, so you have to flick harder. Whereas when you put your finger right at close to the pivot in the fuller, it is more of a harder detent. Yeah, that is just great. And it deploys either way with a thumb stud or not. And I really appreciate, oh, look at that. Even the screws are also coated. That is a really nice touch. They didn't have to do that. Like, if they hadn't done that, no one would have known the difference, I don't think. But now that I see it, I mean, that is just classy. And of course, lefties are included on this, which is great. I like it when they include the lefties. And how does it deploy for a lefty? And again, if you don't know why I have a purple nail, it's because I have a daughter. And, my daughter wanted to give me purple nails, so I do. Yeah, so it works perfectly good for the lefty, for the finger deployment, and the thumb obviously works great. Yeah, so works great ambidextrously. And just dropping shut, I think that I can play with a pivot, and maybe this is running on bearings. I think I could maybe just loosen it just a little bit, the lockup is super tight. Their button lock does lock with a light to medium, like not going to go out there and hit it against a tree trunk, but it's definitely not going to any kind of regular wear and tear or abuse on the spine isn't going to make it fold up on you. I like the combination. I honestly like the combination of the steel handle. Now that will wear and there'll be some silver under there eventually. But having said that, I just really like the color combination on this, and I love the blade shape. Now the Pyrite is a very utilitarian. This Warrenclyffe style Pyrite is very utilitarian and has a great use, right? This is more for poking, and honestly, I like this shape just for its looks more than its practicality. I actually think that this blade shape, even though it has some nice belly right here, isn't very practical for your typical workday life. But as far as like looking sexy, and it's still perfectly fine, this like takes the day. This looks a lot sexier than that. So yeah, very cool. And then this, this blade shape here is good too. It has a lot of belly, obviously from Riot, but yeah, it has all the things that I'm looking for, right? The ergos are great. You can choke up really nicely. The button lock and the deployment are awesome. The price is 50 bucks. And this looks super, super sweet. There will be a link down below, obviously. It's steel handle, so the weight's a little much, but for the price and everything else is good. The blade steel is great. I don't have any problem with that. I think some people might, but for $50, I think that the AR RPM 9 is absolutely fine. Yeah, I don't know if I have any negatives about this. This is obviously made in China. That could be a negative, I guess, but for $50, I mean, I'll be very interested to see how this wears. Their clip on it is just their standard deep carry pocket clip, but also coated in this coating. So that's probably the first place where it might wear, and I'm curious to see how it ends up doing that. Other than that, this thing seems phenomenal. So if you get a chance, go ahead and pick one up. They had Bowie, they did different coatings and they did a plain one. They did a lot of different kinds of this. So you don't have to get this, what I think is a copper, like finish that's been polished. But any one that you get, this blade shape is great. And I love the copper. Absolutely think it looks phenomenal. And I love the fuller too. That is just really sexy. And you've got different belt lines underneath there, which is great. And like I said, I don't think that with stropping, this is going to be an issue at all. Came razor sharp. So this is definitely a home run, I think. Thanks for joining me on my unboxing. I'm, of course, going to do a full review of this. Probably won't do another disassembly because I've disassembled 2 or 3 Pyrites at this point, but I definitely will review this, and there'll be a link down below. If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Comments really help out the channel. You can't believe how much they help out the channel. If you want to get a chance to win this knife, because this will probably be one of my giveaways coming up here, all you have to do is click the link down below and join for $3 a month to become a Patreon member or a YouTube supporter. I'll throw you in that as well. So yeah, thanks so much for joining me, guys. I hope you liked what you saw, and I'll see you guys next time on Sharp Ends. Bye-bye now.